hostile.
How would you describe this place? Because it's quite uneasy. I feel a bit uneasy here. How would you describe this place? Because it's quite uneasy.
Honduras, one of the most violent and dangerous countries in the world, constantly dealing with major problems related to corruption and extreme gang violence. And on top of this, only a few months ago, Honduras was struck by two major hurricanes, which wiped out entire neighborhoods. Because of all this compounding suffering, thousands have fled the country, headed to Honduras. Honduras was struck by two major hurricanes, which wiped out entire neighborhoods. Because of all this towards the United States for a better life. Throughout this video series, I will travel all throughout Honduras, meet the people, and hear their side of the story.
Do you feel safe living here?
No. Not at all, not at all.
Passport. Where are those kids?
I'm Carlos.
Carlos, I'm Nick. Va para abajo.
Buenos dias from Honduras again. Today we're heading to Tegucigalpa, which is the capital city, biggest city of over 1 million inhabitants, biggest city in Honduras. Not sure what it's going to be like. We're currently halfway between San Pedro Sula and Tegucigalpa. Should be another few hours on the road. Then we're going to explore the city, meet up with some locals, try and get a glance at the city of this notorious Central American country. If you haven't seen the last videos, it's a very interesting country. It's very fun and beautiful nature and very kind people, but at the same time, it's got an underlying level of danger. 80% of the drugs imported into the US come through this country. There's very tight security here. Anyway, let's get on the road, see what we see on the way. A little bit nervous. We'll see what happens. You never know in this country.
So Mare, can you just explain this huge perimeter on the right-hand side here?
US military base in the middle of the country. The truth about that place is that early 80s, during the Cold War, we were surrounded by the guerrilla war in El Salvador. Guatemala had the longest guerrilla conflict in Latin America. Nicaragua had this communist
Silver Wings official shout out. Better Bitterley shout out.
How would you describe this place? Because it's quite uneasy. I feel a bit uneasy here. Do you feel safe living here?
No,
don't feel
not at
safe?
all, not at all.
You can see the man on the left here in the red shirt with the sunglasses. In his backpack, it's full of beers, and he also has a revolver pistol.
How would you describe this place? Because it's quite uneasy. I feel a bit uneasy here. Enjoying the sun.
Johnny Santa Maria, hello. Ito, dahil sa due to insisting public demand, tayo ay Uy, thank you po, Blacky. Talagang tinutuo mo, Ate Eva. Thank you very much. Ayun, asan na ba tayo? Nung nakaraan, galing tayo ng Kensington, Philadelphia, USA. Ngayon, punta naman tayo sa Honduras. Okay. Tingnan natin kung anong meron dito. Ang video panonood natin ngayon ay galing kay Indigo Traveler. Kung gusto niyo ng mga ganong video, nandiyan sa baba sa description ang link. So, pwede niyo puntahan pagkatapos yung panood itong live na to. Okay, let's go!
But it didn't stop them from marching in their thousands towards Congress.
The gangs told me to either leave or choose the way I wanted to die.
A confrontation between Guatemalan security forces and thousands of people from Honduras.
Escaping an economy battered by the pandemic, gang violence and hurricanes.
These people are desperate.
My goal is to reach the United States. Why? Because of the level of crime that we have in this country, because of the lack of work, the lack of education, because of extreme poverty.
But the acting Customs and Border Protection Chief has already told these people not to waste their time and money on the trip. Either that message didn't get to them, or more likely, they're too desperate to listen.
Honduras, one of the most violent and dangerous countries in the world, constantly dealing with major problems related to corruption and extreme gang violence. And on top of this, only a few months ago, Honduras was struck by 2 major hurricanes, which wiped out entire neighborhoods. Because of all this compounding suffering, thousands have fled the country, headed towards the United States for a better life. Throughout this video series, I will travel all throughout Honduras, meet the people, and hear their side of the story.
Do you feel safe living here?
No.
ayun, intro pa lang magulo na eh. So kahit naman saang balita ka manood, pagka ganun ang mapapanood mo, kahit saang bansa, pag ganun ang mapanood mo, isipin mo talaga, ay, ang gulo-gulo. Di ba? Parang iisipin mong, ay, ganyan pala din sa bansang yun. Parang nakakatakot puntahan. Magulo, puro corruption. Ano ba? Ayun, ang dami-dami ng nag-aalisan. Biro mo, naglakad lang papuntang Sa bagay, lang naman kasi yung boundary sa kanila, kalsada lang eh. Mga libu-libong kilometro lang naman ang lalakarin mo papuntang USA. Okay, let's proceed.
Not at all. Not at all.
Passport.
Where are those kids?
Carlos, I'm next.
Okay, so coming to you from Panama City International Airport here. Flew here from Brazil last night, but today heading to Honduras. Not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous. I'm meeting up with a local guy there today, and he just told me the city I'm flying into, San Pedro Sula, there was a guy dressed as a police officer that killed 6 people in the downtown area just a couple of days ago. So although there are very nice parts of Honduras, it's a very dangerous country, one of the most dangerous countries in the world. It has the nickname murder capital of the world. It's consistently rated as one of the highest murder rates in the world. Gangs have a very strong grip of the country. We'll learn a bit about this country. It's recently had a hurricane that's wiped through it. There's been mass migration. It's a country that's going through very difficult times, but I hope to see what it's like on the other side of the news and things, and meet the people and see what it's like on the ground. So let's go.
Down the bottom, it's negative. It's Portuguese. Gracias.
Thank you. How are you?
Thanks.
So I've met up with the guy that I'm going to be traveling with while I'm
Driver's neighborhood, and you can see because of the hurricane, people that had 2-story houses, many people that lived in these single-story houses went to the 2-story houses and sat on the roof, waited until the water went down. So it's just insane, the devastation here. There's so much going on in the news these days. Like, this kind of thing isn't really making headline news. It's just completely devastating.
Authorized to be an official Nueva Zelanda.
Nueva Zelanda. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to actually go into it must take months and months because there's a little bit of a smell here, right? It must take a long time for that to get out.
The problem with these things is that everybody tries to volunteer and help and give aid immediately after the hurricane, and to recover from this takes months and years. So after 4 months, people are still in need of help. Now the other things are coming, elections are coming, then
People forget.
Juancito, ellos son unos amigos que andan filmando.
No, excelente, muy bien.
Gracias.
Todavía hay viviendas que tienen este problema.
Wow.
Y todavía hay mucha.
Completely mad.
Y el gobierno, pues, amor, no nos ayudó en personal para limpiar las casas. Solo dijo de que, excuse me, where are you from?
I'm from New Zealand.
Excuse me?
Nova Zelanda?
Nueva Zelanda?
Ah,
No, from American City.
not American, no.
Okay, New Zealand.
Right.
All right. This is for the friends.
It's for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Oh, right, so several months.
Several months.
Uh-huh.
The mud was too soft, so they needed to be kind of hard, so in order to remove it.
Oh, so they waited it for it
They
to
waited
dry.
for
Luego la familia enfermó de COVID.
So it's crazy times to deal with the flooding and hurricanes because we're in the middle of a pandemic. So it was not only one but two
hurricanes back to back,
8 days.
8 days apart.
Nosotros nos fuimos el miércoles en la noche y el huracán entró.
They have had several floodings in the past. They know that if there's a hurricane alert, so they have to move and they have to leave everything. After the first hurricane, people tried to clean their houses. And actually, some people clean it, and then they had this alert of the new coming, so they have to live again and back to the same situation.
Nosotros agradecemos a los voluntarios de Sparrow Mission.
He's grateful for some missionaries from the U.S. that came to provide and as a volunteer and help them to clean the houses.
No han entregado nada al gobierno, ni cama ni colchón.
No.
Nandos, I think I'm pronouncing that right, but every Honduran apparently will know exactly where I am. It's one of the most notorious neighborhoods in the country. This road here divides the gang territory. On this side is MS-13. Probably you might have heard of MS-13, huge gang in the USA and Honduras. And on that side is Tres Terrenos. Maybe mispronouncing that, but yeah. So, hola, good. We just came from Barrios 18 neighborhood. So that's another huge gang here. Those are basically the three of the major gangs here. 80% of trafficked drugs into the USA come through this country. You know, you would have seen the kind of the tattooed up guys with the gang signs and everything, maybe on some documentaries about Central American gangs. That doesn't exist as much as it used to. It's a lot more organized now because they've really cracked down on those gangs. So they try to kind of like keep it under the radar a bit more so it's not so in your face as it was. If you remember in Panama at the start of the day, I was talking about how 6 people were massacred by guys dressed in police uniforms. We actually just drove past, apparently it was that guy's house who was massacred. Him and 6 other people, his bodyguards and other members of his crew. We just drove past his house. So this is one of the most notorious neighborhoods in Honduras that we're in right now. You can only go on this street. If you go down any one of these side streets,
lang yan, nakamute pala ako. Shoutout Talahib, PH Most Wanted, AH shoutout. Okay, saan na ba tayo? Sige, balik tayo sa video. Teka lang.
Only people who have permission from the gang can go into these areas. Everybody knows that the Rivera Hernandez is a gang control area. This is Sicarios land, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Is this your first time here?
Yeah. Usually I will never come here to this area.
Right.
Never.
You want to get out of here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
You can tell.
Even the public transports, you see taxis and like minibuses driving around here. They're marked with a certain color. For example, there was one with green. And so each gang-controlled neighborhood has their own public transport and taxis, right?
Yeah. Now they are not just like they used to be before, just controlling the road. Now they are businessmen. That they have taxis, they have transport, they have properties, they have everything.
So it started as narcos and now it's built into empires of business.
Yeah. Now it's more like organized crime.
Big wads of cash, $23.50 in Honduran money for $1. We're in the downtown.
Enjoying the sunset, right?
Of course, yeah.
Right.
It's a great.
And so you live around this area?
Yeah.
Pretty close. And
Good.
how is it living here? Because like the thing is, it's like this city has a pretty bad reputation, right? Like, to be honestly speaking, like around the world, it's known as to be quite dangerous. How is it for you living here? What's it like for a local? Is it true? Is it dangerous, or is it okay to live here?
I think that San Pedro Sula City is a very important city in my country. I don't know, I think no is a dangerous city.
Not dangerous.
No dangerous.
Okay.
Es importante como parte de los hondureños dar a conocer las cosas buenas de la ciudad.
And it's important as Honduras that we can show the good side of the city as well.
Por lo cual, pues creo que
San Pedro Sula is known as the industrial capital, misinterpreted as a dangerous, extremely dangerous city, which is not.
Bueno, considero que todos los lugares del mundo son peligrosos.
There is a dangerous in every city in the world, and if you do the right thing, if you focus on work and educating yourself, then you can change that perception of things here in San Pedro Sula.
Gracias.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You heard Lenny saying that it's like not dangerous, and I don't feel in too much danger, but then I've seen things and I've heard stories, and then there were in the city right down here a few days ago there was 6 people massacred, so it's very blended together with the danger.
It's a bad reputation, and at the same time you come here and you have this relaxed vibe and this easygoing, smiley, friendly people, but I will say that don't fool yourself. I mean, bad things happened here. It's not like a war zone, but people get killed. Bad things happen. Like just 2 days ago, like 6 people were executed downtown San Pedro Sula.
It wasn't in like some far off bad neighborhood.
No.
It was in the center,
in
right?
Center city. So it's the city is, I think, is better than in 2000. I remember it was worse in 2014, 2013, but.
Welcoming and warm. It's conflicting. Some people say it's safe, but then you have massacres in the middle of the downtown area, and we were in a gang area where there were people killed. Some people say it's safe, some people say it's not. Omare says, you know, stuff does happen, and to hide from that fact is not really a fair view of it. In the next video, we're going to explore more of this city. We're going to meet more people. We're going to go to different neighborhoods, some bad neighborhoods, some good neighborhoods. We're going to try and meet
If we talk about the criminals, gangs are in the lower of the chain. I mean, the high criminals, we have them in the Congress, we have them in the presidential house, we have the high rank officers in the military and in the police. Those are the dangerous ones.
Honduras, one of the most violent and dangerous countries in the world, constantly dealing with major problems related to corruption and extreme gang violence. And on top of this, only a few months ago, Honduras was struck by 2 major hurricanes, which wiped out entire neighborhoods. Because of all this compounding suffering, thousands have fled the country, headed towards the United States for a better life. Throughout this video series, I will travel all throughout Honduras, meet the people, and hear their side of the story.
and have a look inside.
Yeah. Okay. You can suck?
Eat it?
Yeah, only suck.
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 Bite it.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
I don't know the name in English.
I swallowed it.
No, you
I did, yeah.
You were not supposed to.
It just went down. I swallowed it.
Se lo trago.
So you toast the grain for 35 minutes,
Yeah.
and you move it for 30 minutes
Yeah.
constantly.
All time. ¿Cómo creen que va a salir esto? Esto ya está tostado.
So we were saying in one Hershey's chocolate bar, there's only one of these, and the rest is just additives, sugar, and powdered milk.
Manifestación.
This is pasta de cacao.
Then you put it back in.
If you want, you can eat.
Like this?
Strong.
Very strong?
Yeah. Remember, no chocolate. It's cacao liquid.
Pure.
Yeah.
Very rich. So adding the chocolate to milk. Sugar.
Yeah. Chocolate bar.
So we come down to the thermal pools, and this happens that the military are here, like doing some training or swimming or something. But a pretty unique situation here at the bottom of that huge dam with the military and hot pools.
Nobody wants to leave family behind, places you're familiar with, friends, and people is willing to go thousands of kilometers on foot and face all kinds of danger on the way. Just because, the American dream, this is no longer an American dream. Have a better life, and because you want to, no, this is forced.
These strong feelings, do you think that they're held by many people in this country?
Of course, nobody wants to see your brother, your sister, someone else's mother died. I mean, just like that. But how do we fix this? For that, I don't have an answer. I think education, educate the next generation to be different. How do we teach honesty, man? How do we teach empathy? Gives people sense of community and work together and have the same goal. How do we teach integrity? That's what we need. We need educated people with ethics, not to make money.
Okay, New Zealand.
Right.
All right. This is for pranks, huh?
It's for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
All right, so several months.
Several months.
Good evening, Dante Baron, and happy birthday, bro. Hello, hello, hello. Ayun, pambihira. Agoy, ano ba yan? Salita ako ng salita. Hindi pala gumagana yung mic ko, pambihira. Oy, shout out Dante Baron, Coffee Break, Rich B, shout out. Lucky, thank you very much. Sino pang RSP and Company. RSP and Company? Are you new o are you ano? Talahib, AH, PH Most Wanted, shout out. Shout out. Nako. Medyo merong technical issue tong headphone ko. So, pasensya na. Pasensya na po at ano. Next time, ayusin natin to. Aha. Hello. Ayun, ulitin ko uli. Yung video kanina tungkol sa Honduras. Parang nangyayari naman to lahat sa ano kahit saang bansa. Pero syempre hindi naman, although kilala ang Honduras sa mga ano nga, sa mga tawag dito, kaguluhan. Well, meron din namang magandang parte, hindi lang naman puro pangit. Meron sa bandang huli ng video, hindi ko na naipakita. May mga magandang lugar din na magandang pasyalan, tsaka magandang puntahan. Para sa iba pang video na gusto nyong makita tungkol kay Indigo Travelers, nandyan po sa baba ng description box yung link niya. So, kung mahilig din kayo sa mga extreme travels, actually 4 na video yata yung nandun tungkol sa Honduras kay Indigo. Bukod sa Honduras, so marami pa siyang ibang video na pwede yung panood. Ayun, thank you very much sa mga sa mga pumunta, sa mga nagtiyagang nakinig, nanood na yun. Sana sa susunod, yun, mapaganda pa natin ang presentation dito para hindi naman kayo mainip, hindi naman kayo maboring. Tsaka itong headset ko, sige, papalitan natin para hindi na magloko. Nagloloko pala, minsan nawawala. Salita ako ng salita, nawawala yung audio. Okay, so for tonight, yun lang muna at thank you very much ulit. Salamat.